Mic. Check 1 2 1 2. Good morning, and welcome to the Whensday Warm-Up. I'm your host Lee, and I'm joined by my trusty sidekick. The Whensday Warm-Up is powered by the Insights Show. If you haven't done so already, let me someone put it on right now. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. You will know that we are on every single day. It will give you notifications. Join the notification family. Why don't you? Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that I just want to quickly give a shout out to our new producers there in the paddock. It's Racine and Phoebe. They are our interns and they are going to be producing. So also let us know in the comment section how they are doing. They are all open for criticism, I guess.
2 minutes late.
2 minutes late. Ooh, our producer shouted Jesse this morning for coming in late. Now he's saying they 2 minutes late. But thank you so much for tuning in. Jess, how are you?
I'm alright, not too bad.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can. It's low now?
It's low, very
It's low
low,
in your
yeah.
ear. Sorry, Jess.
Nah, all good.
But we hear you loud and clear. You are there.
Okay.
You are
I don't
within.
hear myself too loud and clear, but as long as you are hearing me.
Sorry, man.
Nah, it's all good. But good morning to everybody out there. I hope you're doing well on this lovely Wednesday morning. It's a bit chilly by here outside today.
Yeah, yo.
But yeah, I hope we can keep you warm on today's show. Hey, we have some special people in the studio here today, yeah?
Do we?
Yeah.
Hey, man, dankie.
Hey.
X.
Hey, X like you're a young mannetjie.
Yes, see, bruh. I
Plain
saw him
bokkie.
Sunday. I'm like, and now who's this lighty here sitting next to me? Good morning, Mom X.
I am now your boy Zakes.
Hey, your boy. Yeah, nah, that's
Bruh,
true.
I
Your boy.
downgraded, shaved off. A good 10 years, bruh.
See, bro.
Now 26 again.
Hi, man.
Clean year.
Hi, but I see the strand is still, no?
Yeah, man, it's not blessed. Yeah, man. you know when you see you getting in trouble. When it starts getting light here, bruh, then you know, I know why. At some point, I must give up the ghost once and just take everything off. But
Yeah,
I think I'm still safe.
Now, Mom X, it's good to have you here.
I told you it's no more X. Oh, yes, the woman
sorry.
me back.
Okay, it's fine. Take the call. You see, important people.
Yeah.
VVIP celebrities are phoning this man because they are of movies now.
I also know other people get this of movies.
Bruh, hey, you in good company, eh? You are in good company.
I'm just with the movie people today. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Nah, don't worry, it's coming. You know, your mother said yesterday, spring in die bed.
Ja, nee.
Die bed word geroer.
I told her I just need a costume. My onnies het gate in.
You a problem. I just quickly want to hear if the sound is cool. Is the sound cool on YouTube? Okay, no, cool. Then that's why. Listen, I want to someone get into... Yo.
Was that me?
That was you, bro.
Apologies. I just wanted to see what producer is doing there. That things.
Bruh, but listen, let's jump straight into it. Topic number 1, if our our producers can just put that picture up there in the I'm producing from this seat. So yeah, we're talking about Ocean Gate Titan. Bro, this story hit. When was it actually? Last week it was a buzz.
Father's Day they went down.
Father's Day they went down, which was the 18th of June.
Yeah. And then
By 19 June we got the news that the submersible went missing. And then, it was chaotic. We were all waiting with bated breath, like literally.
That's literally like
because we were
show.
like 92 hours left of oxygen. Only 6 hours left, and we were there.
Tomorrow, and they didn't find him. The oxygen levels would be gone.
Oh my gosh, we were so geskrik, eh? So, as you guys can see there, but you can put the producers. First put our picture back. First put our picture back and then do the shrinkage. But yeah, But it was
They are learning. It's alright, producers.
it's cool. But listen,
got a big screen.
listen, bro. What is your thoughts on this? Like, initially we were like, I shame Billionaires down, looking at the memes and stuff. You know how it is. There must be memes. And then after that, we were like, okay, this is no longer
It's not a meme thing.
a joke. It's
Yeah.
now for real, for real.
Now, for me personally, people are going on and saying, why would you want to do something like that? It's unnecessary, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel like if I had the money that these people had, I would have probably done the same thing.
Sure.
Because you have so much money, you're always looking for that next adventure, that next step or whatever.
Yo. I mean, what do?
That's-
You've got too
you've
much
got too
money.
much money,
You've already done everything that you possibly could.
100%. So you keep looking and searching for like the next adrenaline rush, if I can put it that way. And a lot of them were into the Titanic. They loved these type of stuff. So I don't blame them for going down.
Yeah. I mean, there were many trips before this. It's not like they
It's
were
not
the first ones.
100%. So it's happened before. But I feel like as a people, we tend to make everything a joke. Where it's not really a joke. I think where the people got it wrong is they saying everyone cares now because it's Billionaires and all that. No, I feel like if it was anyone else, it would have still gone worldwide.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you are missing in the ocean. So I feel like it still have went worldwide. But I don't blame them because that's the main thing. People are saying, why you do that, you dumb, why you go under, and the memes and all that. At the end of the day, they're people, they're humans as well. They have families. It's not nice to be having all these memes up and the families must see and all these type of things.
That's the thing,
So
right?
I feel like as humans, we've lost humanity in a way.
That's true. What were your thoughts on this? And also RIP to the lives that were lost. There were 5 men in that ocean gate that imploded. Now we have news that it imploded. First it was missing, lost signal and blah, blah, blah.
But also that's sketchiness, I feel.
Hey, bro, there's a lot of conspiracies around this whole situation. Number one, they're saying that the structural integrity of this thing was substandard. They're saying that these guys know. And even the guy, James Cameron, right? He's the producer of the director of the movie Titanic. And he obviously he went down there like a million times. And he said, hey, look, he was warning the gents to say, gents, this thing is not structurally sound. Are you sure you want to go so deep with this thing? Because, it's not 100%. And then also it was a new strategy they were trying out to make the submarine, it's actually called a submersible, to make it with carbon fiber. And they tried to wrap it, and I don't know, they're saying it's a different method that they were trying. And then also people were saying that the fact that you couldn't open the thing from inside, you had to bolt it from the outside, and so only could open it when you come up and someone opens it. I mean, there was a bunch of like weird things going on.
And the controller, was it Xbox?
Logitech, PS3,
a PlayStation controller,
Oh, wow.
stuff like that. And then, but then there's the other side of the coin where a lot of people are feeling, why are we so much focusing on this? So a lot of people are feeling with all the politics going on in America, the news is now focusing on these Owens. The news is now focusing on these Owens that now went. Got lost in the ocean, but now they're locking up Trump, they're covering Biden's latest story, they this and that. So people are feeling like,
but his story's been out for a hot minute. It's just nothing's been happening. So I don't feel like this is something to hide that, because his story came out like a year and a half ago already. If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, on that podcast, his beans were spilled already on that podcast, his relationships with Russia and all these type of people. So I don't feel like it's a cover up for.
But they must now. But now the thing is, they went to go lock Trump up.
Yeah.
Like they went to go lock him up. Go and like put charges against him and stuff. And now Trump came out and said, "Why are you all putting charges against me?" But Biden caught on us nonsense. His lady was caught. You all saw the videos, the pictures, the voice notes, all this. But you all are coming for me. So now there's this conspiracy theory that's saying they're trying to like cover all that things up and let's focus on these ones that went into the ocean and got lost and this and this. So there is certain merit to why people are feeling like, nah man, why are we worried about these ones? There's people who die every day from different things. There's that situation where those people went on on the ship trying to
The migrants.
to escape their country and whatever was going on in their country, and thousands of them died or hundreds of them died, and there was no coverage on that. Why is there all of a sudden such big coverage on these 4 gens or 5 gens? So there's all these like thoughts that are valid thoughts of people. Why they're like, why are you focusing on this? Why there's so much other things going on? Are you trying to cover something? What's actually the setup here?
And on the note of conspiracy theories surrounding this, or just like not even conspiracies, just theories surrounding this, is that on another note, you find that they say you must look at who these guys are linked to, these billionaires. And obviously they're making mention of, linked with China and linked with, we're going to hear words like China and Russia a lot now. So I think that is also the reason why it's become such
Russian. The son and his...
No, they're not.
no,
they're
they're not
Pakistani.
Russian, they're Pakistani,
Yeah. The Paul-Henri Nagiolet, he's French. He's a diver. He's a Titanic enthusiast as well, but he's a professional diver. So apparently he's the most qualified person or the most experienced person because he's dived many times.
Okay.
Then there's Hamish Harding. He is one of the billionaires. I think he's from the UK.
Okay.
And then there's Stockton Rush, and he's the CEO of Ocean Gate Titan.
Yeah, I know he is.
So the most of the criticism is actually
on him.
against him. They were actually saying that with Stockton Rush, there's actually a couple from LA that's suing him because obviously the man is no longer, but they're suing him because Ocean Gate still owes them money. They didn't want to refund them their $210,000.
Yeah. I also know with the last trip, there was an issue where they had to also come back up. So they couldn't finish the trip. I think it could have probably been
that one,
then,
yeah.
Because they were like halfway through and then something went wrong and they had to come back up again. So they never had the full experience.
A lot of people are asking, why is it that why would people want to go to those depths, and why would people, but like you were saying, if you've got the means to do so and you're an adventurer, there's many people who do weird things for adventure in the name of adventure because they adrenaline junkies, because they've got a love for something. If you've got a love for something, you would end up doing this. But while we're on the note of the nature and how nature is not exactly it seems like it's not happy with us. Nature is not.
Nature's really
Mother Nature
naturing.
seems like
It's
she's
giving.
upset.
nature is naturing. But
Nature is
naturing
giving.
too much.
So I want to just show you 2 incidents that happened this month alone, right? With regards to, and this is now in South Africa, right? Our producers are going to cue it up and then they're going to play it when I say so. So this was the one that I'm going to show you that you're going to see on your left hand side is this footage was on News 24 on the 14th of June. It was Cape Town's floods, and then yesterday I actually saw this in Inanda, Durban. There was a tornado. So producers cue it up and let's just see. It's intense, eh?
Yeah, bro, real tornado.
There's no sound on this, but you can see. But look at those floods.
Yeah.
I saw the flood one. I'm trying to check the tornado one. I didn't pay attention to it.
There's legitimate damage, bro. It's not just like papers
just
flying
wind,
around. That's parts of people's houses, like those wooden planks and things like that. Look there.
There's someone's old Zozo.
No, really.
Look at it. Yeah, that's corrugated iron.
Yeah,
Someone's shack.
that is actually the damage that the tornado did.
Yeah.
Okay, we can pause it on that. So thoughts and prayers. Firstly, that's important. Thoughts and prayers.
Pastor.
But what do you guys think about the natural disasters? Look, also, let me just mention this. Obviously, from a Christian perspective, we're going to come out here and say, signs of the times. And people's going to be like, no, these things have been happening for many years.
When did we have tornadoes in South Africa?
And then in
For many years.
Johannesburg and Pretoria, there was the earthquakes, which they're calling a tremor. What did you say, 5 point?
I think it was 5.
5 on the
5.0.
Richter scale. Okay, so
And it's the first time it's ever been like
like
so long
Yeah.
that your things even start moving in the house.
people were saying that some people's built in like their sinks and stuff like that came loose.
I'm trying to find the scripture, yes, because I am gonna be a pastor now.
Also, like with that, usually when it's a tremor, I'm in the south, you in
The north.
the north. I feel it. You don't usually feel it.
Yeah.
Or you feel it, I don't feel it. This time, everyone felt it.
Bra, apparently from Pretoria.
Yeah, from Pretoria. Boksburg.
How far is
Yeah,
that out? How far out is that, bruh?
Is a sphere.
As fair.
But yeah, no.
I must be honest, I didn't feel the tremor. But yeah, like no, but even nobody in my house felt it. I just feel like it didn't affect our side.
No, man.
So here's my thought on it, right? There's a bunch of scriptures. There's scriptures in Matthew, especially, that speaks about end times. There's scriptures in Revelation. There's scriptures in Daniel, Isaiah. They all speak about the end times and what's gonna start happening in the end times. And then in Matthew specifically, they come and they ask Jesus, "Hey, how do we know when things are gonna get rough now?" Then he said, "It's gonna become like it." Then Jesus likens it unto a pregnant woman. Then he says, when a woman is pregnant, they get closer to the period of contractions and Then contractions start and then they further apart. Then it goes again, then they get closer. Then it happens again, then it gets closer. Then it happens again to the point where it's like, okay, right now we gotta get to the hospital, right? And so I have 2 kids. Jesse also has 2 kids. He knows that story about contractions and timing the contractions in between one another. And so then Jesus starts saying that, how is it that you can see? Jesus starts saying that. He says, how is it that you can see that tomorrow will be hot or tomorrow will be cold? You can judge the weather. You can say with our science and what if the weather is moving like this, it's going to rain tomorrow. It's going to be 15 degrees tomorrow, 13 degrees, 20 degrees, whatever the case might be. How can you see those things and you can Jesus calls it, like you can predict it, right? But then when you see the signs of the times, you deny it, right? And so then he says, in the last days, men will become lovers of themselves. When he says man, he means humankind, right? And so now we're seeing the pride movement, which is literally the whole point of the movement.
What is pride?
Is to be lovers of yourself. And the Bible also says that pride comes before fall and a haughty spirit comes before destruction. There's another heads up to say that, if we continue on this trajectory that we're on here, things are going to get rough, right? And so now they are pushing more so than ever. Don't worry about what your parents say. Don't worry about. That's old school to have morals. It's old school to have values. We now do what we want to do, how we want to do it, when we want to do it. So Jesus comes in Matthew and he says, okay, right, there's going to be a time where people are going to start doing this. They're going to forsake moral values. They're going to forsake the way their parents raised them, and they're going to come with a new way of trying to do things, right? Then he continues.
Says they will cling to what is evil and they will hate
what is good, right? And as we're seeing it now, we had a show about opposite day, right? As we're seeing it now, already people are denying the truth. They're even finding scientific ways to reinforce their lies, which they keep on failing. They fail over and over. If you ever debate with a transgender person, they just get upset and angry and say you're transphobic and walk out of the room. They can't sit down and have a constructive debate because they know fundamentally there's no substance and there's no fundamental basis in what they believe because they know it's not true, right? But we got to a place now where a lie is being perpetuated as a truth, right? So we're there now. We just had the whole month of Pride Month, right? So now God starts saying, now things are going to start getting rough. Where in South Africa have we heard that we had proper earthquakes like that? That is 5 on the Richter scale. When you went to go and check it, South Africa was on top on the Richter scale for 2 days, 3 days in a row. Then it was Brazil, then it was another country and another country. It's like, since when is South Africa on the top of the chart of an earthquake? You went on to Google that, I was screenshotting it and posting it. You would have seen South Africa was on the top. Now we get into the place where, when do we see ever floods like we're seeing the floods now?
And continuous.
And it's starting to happen more. Now again, remember we were speaking about the contractions getting closer and closer. Now it's starting to happen ever so often. Now it's like you can say there was a flood. The last time you could say there was a flood in 1970 so-and-so, 1980 that and that. The last recorded flood was this, that and the other. Now in Cape Town, this is the second time in like a 4 or 5 year period. Because remember that one time when the ocean was pushing
that was a once
in Durban
and in
Cape Town. Remember when the water came over and it started going in there by the hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to happen more frequently, right?
I actually read that they were saying that because the KZN floods of last year was actually the worst in history, South African history.
Now that's the thing. Now we're having tornadoes. Now what? So don't even get this twisted, right? It's not conspiracy theory that scientists are now coming up with global warming and climate change. No. It's the signs of the times. But now because they know scripturally, I can come now with my Bible and say, this was predicted in the Bible more than 2,000 years ago. They're going to now come and try to rebut that with, no, it's climate change. Right? The same people who are flying their private jets all over the place and then landing and then having a whole summit about climate change, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The same people who are buying luxury homes next to the ocean and now crying about climate change, it's like, how does this make sense? So there's a definite fight between what scripture says is going to happen and how the world is trying to, even the whole story about aliens and that's going to be the answer to the rapture. So when we as children of God get raptured up into heaven, they're going to come and say, yo, there was an alien spaceship that took all the Christians. How did the aliens know now who's Christian and who's not Christian?
But also now that I've been watching the AI Bible on Instagram, and I see those creatures that are going to come out and stuff like that, they might as well just call it aliens because they're not going to be far off. It's gonna seem alien to people, but it's what has been in the Bible. It's been in the book of Isaiah. It's been in the book of even Job. It's been in the book of Daniel. It's been in the book of. There's so many prophecies that are busy fulfilling. Coming to fulfillment now. But you were speaking about the scientists and what scientists are going to say, and there's a very interesting theory that's going around, and this is something that I just obviously not stumbled upon, but it was something that we had a conversation about.
I saw this and I heard people having this conversation
and
in a class.
And it's cloud seeding, right? So basically what cloud seeding is that silver iodide or dry ice is either projected into the air out from machines on the ground or more commonly by aircraft, and then it creates, like you will see the cycle here, the phase 2 induction of the chemical, condensing of H2O, then it forms into liquid H2O, and then it becomes gaseous H2O. So, and then the rain, right? So Xavier and I haven't had this conversation one day when we were driving to your house, and then you're like, look at that cloud, it looks strange.
It looks unnatural. If you see the clouds, they don't look. Now I'm starting to sound like Alex Jones, but I swear on my life, bruh.
Yeah.
I see, there's even people that used to come out back in the day and say, hey, they're flying planes here, they're dropping things in the clouds. But then later on it came out as a fact that cloud seeding is a thing. It's an actual real thing. Yeah. It's not, no one's hiding it, no one's trying to say that's a conspiracy. It's a thing. So now you're doing that, now you're getting floods, now you're getting all sorts of weird behavior from the weather. Now you're going to come and say it's climate change. But you're creating this. And so I heard about it 3 years ago, right? We were having a conversation, and one of my father's friends, he is a photographer, and he does a lot of photography for the universities and all of this, for their classes and for when they graduate and all this. So he has a particular contract with one of the best universities in South Africa, right? The University of the Northwest. And he was one day taking pictures for the professors and all that. Then he sat in on one of the science classes, and they were busy speaking about cloud seeding. And the scientist was, the lecturer, the professor was busy explaining how this works. So he came, and we were at I think it was my mother's 60th or something. We were sitting and talking and whatever. And then he was explaining this to me. That's the first time I heard about it. Then he was explaining to me what they do, how it works. Then I thought, man, is this real? Then when I went to go do my own research, I saw, this is real. They're really doing this. When we drove through Botswana now, when we went to Namibia, you see then the planes flying. So, and then you see the streak of whatever it is that they're releasing into the thing. And then I even had a video of it. I'm like, look at this plane, how it's flying and how it's like releasing like whatever it is, chemical in the cloud to make it rain or to do whatever the case might be. So now they're going to come and say, no, it's to make it rain for the crops and for this and for that and for that. And then later they're going to come and say, yeah, it's global warming. This is why we're seeing floods and this. But you don't petering what the natural course of how things should be.
So then my question is, like you were saying, there's obviously going to be all these conspiracies, or there's going to be deniers of these phenomena, and they're going to say, yeah, but it could just be cloud seeding. How is this natural?
But it is cloud seeding.
Okay, but it is cloud seeding, but it still doesn't negate the scripture. The scripture doesn't say how the weather's going, like who's going to change the weather.
Now,
Or
so, how old is a cloud seeding thing? When did they decide to
they
start
said
doing
in the
this?
1940s.
Okay.
So it's quite old, right? It's not a new phenomenon, but it's become a lot more common practice. It was done away with because they weren't sure of the negative side effects on the human body and also on the environment. But now I'm saying you mess with nature, and this is always the case. You mess with nature. My question is that why we are seeing so much of the floods and the things? Like, for me, biblically, based on what you were saying, it doesn't matter how these phenomena are coming about. The fact of the matter is it's happening. And it's happening in the hands of humanity, who the Bible says will become lovers of themselves. They will hate what is good. They will cling to what is evil. They are experimenting. And God says, in any case, He says, I hand you over to the desires of your heart. If your heart is filled with evil and you refuse to return from it, I hand you over to the desires of your heart. And this is the result of it.
But look what happens with that scripture where it says they will hate what is true and cling to what is evil, right? Look what happens. If you as a Christian, right, post something like the conversation we're having now, the chances that it can be restricted, or the chances that it can be blocked, or the chances that the algorithm's going to pick up on it and try to restrict it or block it or try and do something with it is high, right? If you as a member from the alphabet community comes and pushes an agenda, you can go and dance naked by the White House. What the algorithm does is picks that up and it elevates it.
Yeah.
Right? So now, if you can't see clearly that there's a clear distinction on how one group is being treated and how another group is being treated, so much so to the point where what happened with the Target situation, where people rised up and said, no, we don't agree with this. Then they had to backpedal and say, Ish, okay, right, we're losing money. Not because on a moral basis, not on a moral standard, it was because on the standard of, are we losing gang money?
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Target dropped by a couple of $1 billion in like a week or something. They were like, hey, let's retract this thing because we see people are double stepping here.
In the kids section.
Yeah, pride things in the kids section and all of us. Even with the Bud Light thing, people were like, nah, bro, we're not going to agree with us. And then their sales started dropping. And on that basis, they said, to the point now where YouTube came out with a new amendment now to say, okay, you can speak about certain things. We're not going to block you anymore. So much so to the point where when legitimate scientists and doctors, even with COVID, came out and said, but guys, wait, there's 1, 2, and 3. The channels were blocked, deleted, withdrawn, taken off, blah, blah, blah. So you can see there's a very clear line here where it's like, you are allowed to say things, you shut up, we're going to block you, we're going to this. This is why, to the point where even Elon Musk came and said, nah, man, I'm going to buy Twitter because I have the power to do something about this, I have the money to do something, but I'm going to do it. Then he bought Twitter, he unblocked the people who were blocked, and he said, now come, let's have a fair argument. Because if you blocking us because we disagree with your argument, let's have a fair argument. Let's bring the people who disagree, let's bring the people who agree, and let's have a fair debate. You can't just say, force your thing on someone and then shut everyone up that disagrees with you.
I mean, speaking about signs of the times, I actually saw, the Bible speaks about the Euphrates River that will dry up, and it's dry now. And so that's also what people are like. Look, like I was speaking to Phoebe and Ray yesterday, I was saying that, we don't necessarily have, and Doc always speaks about this, we don't necessarily, that he knows of, have eschatologists that are busy dissecting the end times and actually talking about it. We don't hear about these things. So we get things now off of YouTube or somebody speaking about it, and that's where we get the information from. But the Euphrates River is drying up, and then it speaks about a 200,000 man army or something that will be marching on the Euphrates River. Now there's a thing of both China and Russia have, BRICS have collided or whatever, they've formed an alliance, and they are now, their army is like 200,000 men strong. Obviously that cannot be verified yet, but I mean, these are the conspiracies
how is it a coincidence? So somebody said the other day, they posted, they said, people who say the Bible is not true, How can it be coincidence upon coincidence upon coincidence upon? At which point are these coincidences just facts?
Yeah.
At which point do you just sit down and say, but how the hell is this book right all the time?
But you're speaking about the Bible. What about the World Economic Forum that is saying that they want to test AI to rewrite the Bible?
Yeah, because they need to must undo certain things that is scriptural, because now they have to make it untrue. But that's why the other day I preached and I said to the people, get a real Bible and keep it, because they're going to change the things on Google. They're going to change it on AI. Then you're the next generation not going to know what the real Bible actually said. If you don't go buy a real Bible and keep it, the original version.
And the thing is, like I said to you this morning, we end up sounding paranoid. But we're not paranoid. We just know our Bibles.
And never mind that's what happened with COVID. They said, nah, you all are mad. And blah, blah. Now people are coming out complaining about heart attacks. Now people are coming out complaining about they getting strokes on the one side of their body. Now people are coming out complaining about blood clots. Now but when we sat here in the middle of the pandemic saying that, guys, we can't just jump in and say, we're going to take injections, we're going to do this, and this. Now even Bill Gates came out afterwards and said, people are complaining about blood clots and this and that. Now they coming out and conceding to the fact that, there wasn't time to test the thing properly. But you call us conspiracy theorists when we disagree.
They then released a 200-page of side effects.
Dude.
But my point is, when we were saying these things, in the middle where everyone was disagreeing and everyone was masking 3 masks, 5 masks, and everyone was taking jabs,
And we were called
conspiracy theorists, bro. And now we actually turns out people used to fight us, bro.
We were called terrorists.
They used to.
We were told we don't like human beings and we hate this and this. And now it turns out we were right. And now the people who are wrong, they can't come and say, yeah, you know what, gents? You were actually
hiding.
Now you'll ask what Uncle likes to call scam quat. You now realize, I done effed up, so now I gotta go hide behind the thing and this and that and say, I was also I knew they were busy with something. No,
because we never got injections. We're still here today. We're fine.
And I mean, I had my fair share of COVID during COVID.
I got sick and everything, but I refused to go for that. My mother was so sick to the point of death, and I told my father, I'm not taking my mother
to
for
the
this
hospital.
injection. I'm not. Because those people want to kill my mother. And we were called conspiracy theorists, we were called what, and we were called insensitive and all this.
Irresponsible
and all this. Now that the stories are coming out, now all of a sudden, I knew they were busy with something. I knew this.
The best for me was when we went to the hospital when Kaylin gave birth to Atlas, the recent one now. It's late at night, so I go downstairs now to go fill out forms and stuff. I start speaking to the guy at the desk. Now, I don't know how we got to COVID, but we start speaking about COVID, and he tells me, but you know what? Did you get the jab? I say, no, I refuse. Did you get one? He says, no, I also refuse. I'm like, yeah, you been working in a hospital. And then he comes out, he tells me, bruh, this whole thing, it was too, like, scallum.
Yeah.
Like, I used the other word, but basically he was saying it's too scallum.
Suspicious, yeah.
It literally, I think he was so tired because it was late. He tells me, I work in a hospital. You could see like the odd things that's going on and the weird things that's happening around you and stuff. That's why I refuse to get this thing. And I'm like, I don't say much, but I'm listening to him. I'm like, yeah, no, you work here and you're saying this.
But bro, my thing is this, and it's the same thing with Jesus is coming back, bro. They're making us as children of God look like we mad, like we conspiracy theorists. Like, I'm telling you, call me mad, call me a conspiracy theorist, call me whatever you want to call me. There'll be a day that cloud is gonna open. Then it's too late to say, you were right. Then it's late, bruh.
And it's
late for you, boss.
You know how I realized that's true? The one day they were moving chairs here downstairs.
Yes, bro, remember?
And it sounded like trumpets.
Yo, we all
just got up. We were like,
Jess and Jay, we like, we went dead silent, bro. We looked at each other. We're like,
you know where I realized? I'm laying in bed a couple of weeks ago. And bruh, I start feeling my whole house. And I'm thinking, Yo, is this now God coming or what? Because then you realize, bruh,
Yeah.
that you have no control over your life.
Yeah.
You have no control, like that video you show, you have no control over nature. You have no control. Bruh, you realize how powerless you are.
Yeah.
You sit there and you think, if a house falls on me now, there's nothing I can do. If a house falls on my cars in the garage, there's nothing I can do. If a house falls on my children here and my whole family dies, I have no control over what's happening around me, bruh. Absolutely. It makes you realize how insignificant you actually are. Bruh. You sit there and you think, yo.
Is there a thing again?
Hey?
Are we good?
No, we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
What I was, bro, you speaking about no control, ne? And we were talking about it now the other day when Jess told me about this US student, an 18-year-old. They were on a cruise ship in the Bahamas, and his friends dared him to jump overboard in the evening somewhere in the ocean, and it was shark-infested water. And unfortunately, long story short, the guy gets taken by sharks, what is now speculated to be sharks. You just see that he jumps over, they're busy recording, yo, bro, what the F, man? You know, shit. They just, you hear that on the video. Then you see like this figure come up, so he's like there, he's swimming here. You see this figure come up, and then you see it disappear. Like it looked as if it must have.
Is Lee still on? I don't hear it. Oh, okay, there we 100. Okay, that's it.
It's Jesse's. It's.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
very
could hear
much
myself.
loud. That's perfect.
In case we didn't hear that, a US kid went for his graduation on a cruise ship in the Bahamas. So anyway, long story short, you see him there, he jumps over, he's busy swimming here. You see this figure come up from the side, like right next to the cruiser, and then you see this figure come up here. Then you see he notices it, right? Because this guy, one video that I watched, he uses infrared technology so that you can see better, because obviously it's in the evening, you can't really see what's happening. But you see this figure come up, and so you can see that it's huge, it's big, it looks like a great white or something like that. Anyway, he hits it on the infrared video, he hits it with his right arm. Then he turns around to swim away from it. Then you see that the arm is like gone. It looks like the arm is gone, but there's no blood at the moment. But he says either the arm is gone or he was holding his torso. He swims away from that. What is you call it?
Bowie.
That floating thing. He swims away from it, away from the ship. Yo, bro, you just see feet here. This thing comes up, grabs him, pulls him down. So you can see the pool of blood now in the infrared video. And I'm just saying, you were talking about you have no control. The forces of nature alone
will show you
is
that you have no control.
Devastating. Look what's happening with the floods.
Look at that flood. That water comes, what you gonna do?
If
that water comes, what are you you can't go put something in front of it. You can't. What you gonna do, bruh?
These guys that have the billionaires, the billionaires, they've got all the money, but when that thing imploded,
what can you do?
Bro, the ocean, like you're so far down, like what are you going to do? You've got
Titanic, the irony of the Titanic in and of itself. Yes. This is an unsinkable ship. Not even God can sink the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, are you sure about that?
A yellow iceberg.
Are you sure about that?
Iceberg.
Water sink the ship. Frozen water sink the ship. And then water that got into the ship. I saw a thing there, they say it's not the water around the ship, it's the water that gets into the ship. Water that got into the ship sank the ship.
But that was sad. Did you see, like, because I was watching some, what do you call it when they make like these? Not illustrations, but basically like they showed how it would have imploded.
They show like a I know what you're talking about.
Simulation.
Like a simulation, yeah.
I was reading Clayton's lips.
Simulation.
A simulation of how it would have imploded. They were saying that it happens like within
an animated simulation kind of a
like within 2 or 3 nanoseconds. You can't. Those guys, because we were asking, we were like, yo, when we were talking about, before we knew about the implosion, we were like, they're out of air now, guys. They're out of air. Can you imagine? Can't this already? They knew about it Monday, which was another thing that made
and
me
that's
like...
another thing why people are saying,
so it's like, why leave it till the last day when you say the oxygen's out? Now all of a sudden you find something that shows it imploded.
And apparently they lost signal like Monday, but they already knew there was implosion because they heard.
They heard something.
They heard a
They
bang.
heard a bang.
Then all of a sudden, they could hear
Knocking
on
every
Wednesday,
30 minutes.
every 30 minutes or Thursday, when the oxygen was almost out.
Which brings us to the point, man. Who still believes the news?
No, definitely not me.
Who believes the news and who believes the government? Because the thing is, and you know, as a sad thing, people believe it. I saw with COVID. People believe what they
feel
get
like-
told, bruh. It's like,
I feel like the closest to reporting actual news is Al Jazeera.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I watch Al Jazeera.
Look, I'm not saying they're perfect, but I feel like they're the closest
tell
than
the
any
real
other news
Yeah.
thingy out there.
They definitely do a lot more in terms of
Research
Being-
and giving the true story.
being unbiased. Obviously, there's bias
Look,
everywhere.
CNN is a waste of time. They
Oh
just
my
bias.
gosh.
All of them.
But even Fox News
and Fox
now.
also is just now biased.
Even ENCA, yeah, but-
Yes, 702.
702 is just biased. 702.
I mean, we saw
Aye,
during
bruh.
COVID, they were
COVID.
it was
They
now
was
yes, the
shoving it down
702s
your
that
throat,
were
bro.
saying they are terrorists. This was that the anti-vaxxed. They were even
Bro, how did that-
bashing
how did
Novak
that How
Djokovic.
did that Omi pass, bro?
You CBS.
What
How
was
did you
it?
CBS
They-
that?
Oh no, they said it was
Fit,
a fit. Yeah.
epileptic fit or something.
I ain't saying he was a big proponent and supporter of this vaccine. I don't know how many jabs he got, but I'm saying, bruh, these things
It's not make sure.
suspicious behavior going on here, bruh. For me, bruh, I don't trust.
So now what? Do we just remain like paranoid or what do we do?
Now we must do what we're doing. Now we must speak. And the reason people ask you, I'm telling you, I spoke to so many people during COVID. They didn't believe and they didn't agree. But they were so bang to say something, bro. They were so scared of saying something. Even people with the LGBT agenda, they don't agree, bro. But they're so scared to say, which shows you again. It just proves to you that there's an agenda, because why are you scared to say what you're thinking? Because you know, if I say this, I'm going to get cancelled, they're going to control my speech, they're going to this and that. And they do. You're not wrong. They do control your speech. They do block you. They do cancel you. They do come for you.
But also,
You're very right.
But then even in the beginning of the show, when we mentioned the whole thing about, they say they're hiding this submersible and everything because of the other agendas and all that. Why aren't they covering the, what's the people that was all on the ship and stuff? Is it migrants?
yeah, the migrants,
Yeah, that one.
the sinking ship.
Yeah. For me, it's also like the same people that say that push the whole month of pride. So it's like we
What do you now believe?
so at the end of the, not even that, it's like at the end of the day, we're saying we're not covering this, we're not covering that. But literally, the news channels were covering pride more than anything else. So it's like you complaining about billionaires that went underwater, but they're not covering the migrants on the ship and stuff. But yet, all you covering is
Hypocritical.
pride.
Bruh,
So
and
it's
e-
like-
The
and even
hypocrisy.
that, they literally covering, because there's a guy that came out and explained the colors and explained the what. They are now getting to the point, bruh, where they are defending pedophilia.
But it's been like that for a hot minute.
So
Because
then
it's
they
also
must,
sexual
so then they
preference.
must let R. Kelly out of jail then.
Just see.
Because to them, it's a
What's his
sexual
preference?
preference.
Yeah. It's really and you see these deniers.
But it's so one-sided.
It
You
is
can
one-sided.
identify as whatever, but if I say I identify as a child of God, a Christian, a cis male gendered person, then you don't accept then my thing. That I'm
Or if you say that I'm not cis, I'm just a woman. I
Yeah,
am a
because I
woman.
don't
I
identify with a cis
am
thing. I'm
a
just
woman.
Or a man.
Now you want
I
to
don't
change
have
the
a sister.
definition.
That's not healthy.
I also don't have a sister. I don't know where they want to give me a
I
sister.
have a sister.
I also have a sister. I don't have a sister.
Ooh, ek kan nie, Jilly, ek kan nie. But like I said to you,
But people are
nature's
scared to have these conversations because they get cancelled, and it's real. They're gonna do it. What they do it to Andrew, what they do
Yeah.
it his own. It's like they come for your neck, bruh. And if you're not prepared to go the whole 9 yards, then rather stay away from the conversation.
nature's not the only thing that's angry. People, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I was showing you this morning those cops, the altercation that happened between an SAPS, a South African Police Services member,
Yeah,
and
but what
a
happened?
metro police officer. So I got the news story here, and I found it on, if the internet is bugging out. So I
The
found it
internet
here
is
on
making
Twitter.
That That dinosaur that jumps.
I found it on Twitter at Newshawk Live, and this is what their write-up says: the dramatic, cold-blooded killing of a Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department officer by
they
South
shot him
African.
dead?
Yeah, bruh, 7 shots. How many shots?
6 by a South African police service member at Drama Lounge Bar in Braamfontein, Johannesburg, in the early hours of Monday morning has left clubbers shocked. As it marked a new low in rampant South African gun violence, the shooting incident followed an argument in the parking lot of the nightclub. So they were already fighting from the parking lot, or some people say from the pavement, and then into the parking area. It is said an off-duty Metro Police officer was blocked by an SAPS member who was also not at work, and a confrontation ensued in the process. Subsequently, the Metro Police officer aggressively confronted the SAPS member sitting in a car with a friend on the driver's seat after clapping someone outside the car, trying to drag him out of the car. After failing to drag him out, the armed Metro Police officer went in front of the car, demanding that they must move the car. But in the heat of the drunken moment, the SAPS member fired several deadly shots at him. So here's the video. You can look so long.
So,
The whole video.
Are they playing it?
They don't. We don't have it there because I couldn't
so
get
let me
it.
just explain what happens. So there's he's sitting
You can
in
see he's blocking him there.
Yeah, he's sitting in the car, then the other guy comes around. Then they try fighting, then he tries to pull him out of a car. Then the sitting in the driver's seat takes out the gun and slaps him.
Six
6 times. Then he just falls there.
Well, we hear 6 gunshots, but I
Yes,
don't know.
I guess probably 6.
I don't know what.
But then he
is
shoots him 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then he just falls.
So what do you guys think about this? Do you think it was deserved? Or because this guy, the SAPS, the accused now, is saying that the Metro Police officer was already brandishing a weapon. He had the weapon in his hand.
So what's he going to call self-defense?
So now he's saying that he knew that he shot him to paralyze him because he knew that if he were to just shoot once, he was going to shoot him back.
So he's probably going to claim self-defense then.
That's it.
But he didn't paralyze. He shot Osat.
He did, yeah. You can see him there.
But not even there, when he shoots him, his weapon's not up.
But apparently, somebody called in this morning and they said on the news, and they said that if you brandishing your weapon, even if you're not pointing it, it's as if the other person is already threatened and in danger.
Okay.
So he might have a story
Yeah.
to tell. He might have a case to tell.
But then like these police, were they on duty or off duty?
Off duty.
So they were going saping and
But they shot with
their service pistols.
Service pistols.
Yeah, so that's untidy. They need to be held accountable for that because your service pistol is now your work gun.
But people were saying, they must do something about this service people taking their armor, their guns home. Because it's either they shooting a spouse or a partner, or they shooting their children or
at the end of the day,
themselves.
if you work for a company and you have a company bakkie or something, and you're using your company bakkie for your private things on the weekend, and the company finds out, they can keep you liable for it. They can say, hey, bruh, your company bakkie is supposed to be for X, Y, and Z. So there's a situation that happened last week or 2 weeks ago where the one guy, it's a sad story. Someone that I know's father or something. They went. Not someone that I know who knows the story, and they explained the story to me. They went with the work bakkie on a work trip, probably apparently to Durban or something. And in the truck in front of it, some part came loose or fell off the truck and then flew through the window and basically hit us.
Final destination.
Yeah, final destination vibes.
No way.
And in the face, dead, on that speed. Yeah, bruh, not even dead, like face gone.
True.
Because you can imagine that thing go through your face.
No ways.
So now the challenge was that is work gonna say they don't want to be involved in the situation because he wasn't supposed to have someone else with him in the car because it was a work trip, it was the work's vehicle. Because now obviously people can come and I want to claim because like it happened on a work trip, so now it starts becoming sticky because it's like, bruh, you were using the work bakkie for work, but obviously the OFL, I don't want to drive so far by myself. I'm going with so-and-so's going to come with me. Which in principle, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But now they can come back and say, yeah, but this person wasn't supposed to go with you as a work trip, for example. So they can call, a company can call if you're using the company car for things that it wasn't supposed to be for a work trip, or if you're using the company car, you went out clubbing, drinking with a company car, you can get fired for things like that. So how is it that the SAPS or the Metropolitan Police can go and use work, because that's a company gun?
Yeah, it is.
Technically is what it is. Or it's a state gun.
But
because
also,
it's state owned.
this aggressiveness of these
The
cops,
cops, I was also gonna say
bro,
that.
it's almost, and I really, no person deserves to be killed. But
if
I'm
they
just
let
saying,
if they let this slide, then we're gonna start becoming like how it is in America, where the police feel like, now you get, next thing you get stopped at the roadblock.
and they can
The
just take
O-fields
out.
now you can start because already now they have this
But
attitude
they
of
already feel like they can do that. I got pulled over one night. I was alone in the car. Man's literally was in my car, like in the car. What do you have for me here? What is here? What do you have for me? Opening up everything.
so it's
literally
basically
everything.
robbing you. He's shaking you down.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and someone robbing you?
Yeah.
Because basically that's what it done.
And that's the
Literally
reason
open
why,
up
I mean,
everything to say, what do you have for me? What do you have
They
for me?
even say, as a self-defense for women in South Africa, when you are being stopped by a metro police officer or whatever, drive to the nearest police station
And
or,
then they
or
must
a
pull you.
public area and then let them.
But I'm at a point where I record my things now. Take my
Even-
phone out and I record it.
Even with that,
Because you can just say, nah, I didn't say so.
because even with that, they're gonna follow you still. And then they're gonna wanna try and pull you over on the side of the road somewhere else.
And then they're more nar
Then
because
they
then
more
they're
nar
going to say,
because
yeah,
it's
why are you
like-
trying to run away and things like that. Then now he wants to lock you up for running away.
That's it.
Yo.
Because
But
he's gonna
anyway.
they're gonna do that, bro. But I'm saying if us gets away with us,
Aye.
and then he feels tomorrow, then the police are like, oh, okay, so if we pull someone over, we have an altercation. Like what happens in America now?
Then they're
we
gonna-
can shoot you shot.
Then they're
and
gonna
nothing's
come
happen.
out here with the anthem, I'm unstoppable. I'm a force of nature.
I can shoot you shot and nothing's gonna happen to me.
No, but it's true, bro.
Because that's what happens in American in police
Yeah.
now. They shoot us like it's dead, and they know, it's alright, nothing will happen.
Before we move on to the next topic quickly, which is Leandra. Who you for? Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk?
Hey, the cage fight, bro.
Bruh, of course, Elon.
Elon. I'm for
Of
Elon.
course, Elon. Of course, Elon. Mark Zuckerberg.
I mean, if I
is
had
a man.
money, I don't know their strengths. Apparently, Mark was a
jamming.
taekwondo,
Karate people.
something
Yeah,
like that. Apparently, he's got some martial arts
Aikido.
training. But apparently, Elon is not to be slept on. So,
But just for the fact of what Elon stands for. I'm
yeah.
not worried, even if Mark hates him. But
You
I'm
see,
still
there's a thing.
an Elon fan.
See,
Apparently-
Matt Welch's movie.
Yo, what is a woman? It's like,
Because
it made
he
history.
posted on Twitter and then they blocked it. Then Elon went and unblocked it.
And then Elon posted and said,
Then
I
Elon
would.
posted it, yeah.
What did he say? I would advise all parents to watch this.
Then Elon posted.
Yo, bro.
Hi,
it-
Elon, brah.
Apparently,
Elon,
it's like
bruh, he's on
apparently
some
it's
other.
like one. It made history.
Elon
I
is
mean,
not-
remember-
even
They say it's the highest viewed movie like
when
ever.
they blocked
So much so Matt Welch is no longer calling it a documentary. It's like, no, it's a film.
It's a movie.
It's a
When
movie.
they blocked Andrew also, Elon was like, yeah, wag, unblock it, man.
Yeah, speaking about Andrew and Elon, apparently Andrew's going to train Elon.
Because Andrew said, bruh, I'll train you, come, bruh, let's go.
But now
But you know what?
Andrew's in
You know what gets me
prison.
excited, bruh? The fact that people
There's
are fighting
pushback.
back, man.
Yeah.
Because, bruh, they just shut us up, man. And then we must take it and just be quiet. Hey, if we now say something, we're gonna blame. So then Elon was like, yeah, wag, I'm gonna buy this thing. It's the
Yeah.
best move that could ever happen. Because now, bruh, people can say something. Now you have a voice. And look at the lie from the left, right?
Just
Look how many people are supporting this
Yo.
thing. They were just scared to say something. I'm telling you what I'm saying. 90% of people will agree with me, but they're scared to say something because
Yeah.
they're like, "Eish, if we now say something
Something
so
now.
they look like this and that. Yeah. But here behind the scenes, in the private time around the dinner table, they say, yeah, you know what, we agree with it.
It's true. But on a better note, on a lighter note, on a more exciting note, Yalla, I just want to say that I made my movie debut.
Yeah, celebrity.
I made my
Celebrity
movie
approval.
debut. So there's a movie coming out. It is a live ETC and Kyknet story film movie that's coming out. It is by JC Snook and Janice Williamson. So JC is the director. And I'm really excited.
Thank you, Jay. Give it up for Jay.
Thank you, Jay. So I'm really excited about this. We're gonna play the trailer now, and then it's coming out on the 8th of July.
Play the trailer?
I am.
Yeah, today's
The
the day
press
she's allowed
release
to.
is being released today, so I am allowed to share it with you, and I'm so excited, guys. You heard it here first. You know, Insights always brings you the insights first. So you heard it here first. Our producers, do you have it queued up? Are we ready? Okay, and in 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Welkom by #Guys. 'n een en sy soort kompetisie waar een sosiale media ster met 2 miljoen rand gaan wegstap. Asseblief luister vir my.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Simone, julle het nog nooit my visie raak gesien nie. Laaste game.
Ek is klaar met jou games.
Moenie nee vir 'n antwoord vat nie. Ek is hier vir ratings.
Ek dink dis tyd vir 'n game.
Is it gonna play? Wait, I have a question.
No, show me.
Yes.
Is it a movie? Is it like a series?
It's a
What's the
movie.
setup?
It's a movie. So it's called Beinvloedbaar. It's a movie, and it's going to be playing on Kyknet on Saturday, the 8th of July at 8 p.m. Okay. Just some honorable mentions before we get into the details of that. Like I said to you, it's a film by JC Snook and Janice Williamson, and it features the incredible cast. Absolutely amazing. It was a blast working with them. They are some A-listers in South Africa. Mandy Duploy-Baard, Armand Aukamp, Leandra Boysons, I'm there, I'm on the poster, guys. Danielle Retief, Louis Oret, Francois Chapman, and Neil Sharam. So, and Kevin Narain, yalla. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. Don't forget to tune in on Kyknet on the 8th of July at 8 p.m. So yeah, any other
it in your
questions?
calendar right
It's in
now.
Afrikaans.
It's gonna debut on Kyknet.
It's going to debut on Kyknet. It's going to premiere on Kyknet. And then it's going to be available on Showmax. Showmix. So yes.
I hear you. I see.
And then, that's it for today's show, guys. That is Beinvloedbaar. But also this Saturday, there is a movie premiere happening at Crystal Church, if you haven't bought your tickets yet. And it is for The Hustle. You know, yeah, on the Inside Show, we support Brown Excellence. And it is a movie
We don't
that
have a
is...
trailer,
No. It's a movie that is, but you will post it on your socials.
It's
So you can
already
go
on my
follow
socials. I think it's
at
over
Xavier
2,000 views at the point.
_Hendricks.
It's the trailer is on my YouTube channel also now. Xavier Hendricks, it will come up.
So over 600 tickets have already been sold.
Yep.
Some A-listers will also be there at the premiere on Saturday. So yeah, Yellow, we are doing the things. We are moving up, like Jesse says. He's in the presence of very famous people. And yeah, so please don't forget. Don't even get it twisted.
Respect on my name.
You know what? To our producers, did I say to you guys, our producers, did you, because when we do the outro, we have the intro clip that does the outro. Are we set? We good? Okay, cool. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for this very insightful conversation once again. Any closing remarks?
Hi. My closing remarks just it was now a all over the show conversation. We were speaking about serious things, funny things, everything. But yeah, man, guys, thanks for watching. And show your love, show your support for the movie that's coming out, Beinvloedbaar, which means you are
Influenced.
able to be influenced.
Just for the storyline, it's a thriller.
Thriller.
And if it's very, very interesting, guys. I'm talking Squid Game vibes, right? So just as a bit of
It's
a
the feature film.
Yeah, it's about, I think it's 90 minutes or so.
That's
So I
dope, that's
like, or less than. I'm not too sure of the exact time. It's going to be my first time watching the final product
You also
on the
yourself
8th of
what's in and
July.
what's not in.
So, and it was
supposed
shot on 2 locations. So the one location that we shot at, and then there was another location that I was not on because that was just for virtual C. But yeah, it was, and yes, so it's a thriller. It's basically influencers that go to a
Game show type.
like a game show, like a reality show, Big Brother vibes,
Okay.
and then they have to obviously take part in these challenges. But it goes it goes wrong very quickly, like wrong. So yeah,
Ranga.
Oranga, Final Destination
Yeah, so
vibes.
guys, go show some love for this movie, and then obviously, like I said, Saturday we
The
debuting
Hustle.
the Hustle, which is also a movie. The tickets are only $80. You can buy it online literally now. The link is in the description on the day when we had last week Monday's show.
This Monday. Oh, last week
Last
Monday
week
when they were
Monday,
on.
Other Monday, yeah, when
Okay,
they were
cool.
actually on. So just go check that link there and then go buy the ticket there.
Cool beans. Jess, closing remarks.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. Really appreciate you guys that stuck around for us. And if you're watching it later, thank you for also watching later. We do appreciate it. To Leandra, congrats, gal.
Thank you.
You are your first movie, first of many more.
Amen.
May it be the first of many more. And then, we're excited to watch it. Looks very interesting. You can see some quality actors and actresses in here.
No,
just
definitely.
from the trailer alone.
Yeah, Afrikaans. Beautiful.
And then also Saturday, The Hustle will be premiered here at Crystal Church, starting at I think 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So please do come through, support that as well. We're supporting our people. It is
Yay.
our time to shine.
Come on now.
They thought they're gonna kill us with the Employment Equity Act, but
Meantime,
we're
we
coming
started
out.
with
We're
the-
doing our own things.
Come on now. Pew, 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 pew.
Listen, you will start different companies with 50 people.
And the thing is, bro, Employment Equity Act, look at the Griquas, the San, the Khoi, they last number, there was supposed to be a genocide of those people, but they still stay standing. So,
No, bro.
and speaking of the Employment Equity Amendment Act, I'm telling you guys, you should go and watch yesterday's show. Yo, power to the people.
But
Thank you
speaking
so
about
much to
that-
Bishop
Your show went viral
Dalton
also,
Adams.
by the
Yeah.
way.
No
We
Colours
didn't-
and
we
Indians
didn't tell
allowed,
them
that show. It went viral.
Almost 20,000 views.
And then yesterday's show was also with Bishop Dalton Adams. That was an absolutely amazing, insightful show on Dr. Carl's show. So yes, that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, have a blessed week, have a fantastic week, and make it a wonderful weekend. This weekend and next weekend, there's some major things happening on Saturday. It's The Hustle this Saturday. It's Beinvloedbaar next Saturday. See you guys. Love you. Bye.
Elon Musk for the win.